Fantastic. All right, here we go. Um, we are going to. oh,
We have to welcome LGZ.
yeah, we do. We got to welcome LGZ because
White
He's our
Lance in the
first
house.
guest.
White Lance.
First guest ever.
Absolutely, we
Big
got to
time.
welcome Lance Graham to the scene, uh, coach and legend extraordinaire. Um,
Most interesting man in the world.
yeah, oh, well, he is that too. There's no doubt about that. I mean, that's what he is. I mean, look at him, Bubba Watson, got doppelganger up in here. Got to make it happen. So here's my question for you, good gentlemen. If you did watch last night, like I said, we can get to a little draft stuff tomorrow. But I thought last night was pretty good. Um, Initial thoughts. Tell me what you thought about it. And I know LG's coming at this from a different perspective because he only watched one and two so far. But Mason, I'm gonna start with you because I know you were pumped up about the Bad Boys.
Mhm. Yeah, when this all started, there's two main things that I was excited about, and it wasn't the last season. It was the Dream Team stuff and the Bad Boys stuff. And last night was showing all the Pistons rivalry. It was fantastic. And here's what I'm going to say. You know, they can say whatever they want about walking off the floor, and I'm going to keep this clean, but that was a classless move. Isaiah's a punk. He's always been a punk. He's still a punk. And, my favorite part about this whole thing was seeing Isaiah this morning on Get Up or whatever, whining and complaining about how that move cost him a spot on the dream team. And the thing that I want to say to him is, you're exactly right. It did, and I don't feel bad for him. I thought it was a classless move, and he's a jerk. That's all there is to it. I love the Rodman part with the Vegas. I didn't remember that. I don't think that ever came out.
Oh yeah, it was out.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah,
I don't remember that.
Yeah, I remember that part. That was good though.
But I just, as far as the Pistons go, they were definitely passing that torch, and they didn't know how to do it. But it was a classless move by a few of those guys for sure.
Dan, how about you?
I got to watch. I just watched the first half hour of the third episode, so I got pretty much all the Rodman stuff. That was really cool. It was interesting. The one part I found interesting is when they were I think 8-7, and Rodman had a terrible game, and he may have got ejected. I think is what they said, and he went to Jordan's room, and Michael said he never came to his room ever. Didn't apologize, didn't do anything, just asked for a cigar. They said they just sat out on the patio and they had a cigar, and then he left, and then he said
they went 17-3 after that. I think
I was just gonna say they went like 17-2 or something like that after that.
Yeah.
So I'm excited to watch season or the fourth one tonight about the Bad Boys because I didn't get a chance to see that last night. So
D5, what you got?
Man, I have like 4 different notes written down of big things, but the first thing was Rodman's vacation. Obviously, I know the whole nation's talking about it right now, but there's so much that goes into that. I vaguely remember it. I knew he took like this mini vacation, but like key points to that hit me. Phil going to Michael, asking him permission. If he thought it was okay for him to go.
But hold on, dude. My favorite part is Jordan said no, and Phil still did it.
Yeah.
That was the thing that I thought was funny.
Right. And then going off of that, Phil asked Mike, he's like, you think he's going to be back in 48 hours? And Jordan was like, he ain't coming back in 48 hours. But just like on like a side note, the fact that Phil was such a mind. Now, I'm not like a huge Phil follower, but the fact that he had the mindset to even allow Rodman to go, it just, I don't know. I mean, he showed by doing that, you know, we've all coached before. You got to coach different people differently, and he definitely coached Rodman differently, allowing him to do that mid-season. That was crazy.
LG, I'm gonna come to you for a little perspective here, because I know you're an NBA guru, but you had to remember when the Celtics finally went down to the bad boys.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And they walked off the floor with time remaining, right?
Right. Yeah.
I mean, that doesn't take away your love of the Celtics, though, right?
No, absolutely not.
Yeah.
Because
So
anybody who's dedicated their life to being great, is there class in losing, but I mean, they knew, you know what I mean? That was the biggest thing in their lives. They strive to be the greatest, and to swallow it, that's a hard pill to swallow, you know? So, you know, me, if I was the bad boys in that situation, you know, walking off, I think it even proves better. Like, yeah, we are the best, you know. I mean, yeah, you want a handshake from Larry because he's the legend, but I mean, you took his ring. I mean, you took his ring, so is it pretty classless? Yes, but I don't think there was any good blood. I mean, I think that was the whole reason we call them the bad boys too. You know, nobody wanted to shake their hands. I mean, everybody hated them, and that was their MO. And kudos to them. They won a couple titles because of it. You know, they said this is how we got to do it to win, and they did it.
You know, here's my only problem with that, Keith and Lance. I don't have as much problem with them walking off the floor, but just don't complain about the repercussions of it. If that's your image and I'm going to walk off the floor and you want to kind of flip everybody off and say, you know, hey, this is who we are, this is how we do things, that's fine. But then don't come on and whine and complain about, oh, well, the media said this and now I'm not allowed to do this and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, but I think the only person who complains is the person who got shut out, which is Isaiah.
He's the only one talented enough to be on that team.
Well,
on the dream team, right? I mean, they're not picking Bill Lambier to be on the dream team or John Sal.
No, you're right.
Yeah,
you're absolutely right. He is, but he's the only guy who it affected. I mean, it didn't affect those other guys. You know, it affected Isaiah because you're absolutely right. He should have been on the dream team, but he got locked out because, you know, I mean, that just added more fuel to the fire of like, man, you know, you guys didn't even handle that well, so there's no way we're letting you on here now. You know, but I agree with you. I mean, but he's the only guy that truly, this is an Isaiah thing. I mean, more than it's a bad boy thing, it's an Isaiah thing.
I got a question for you guys. So Broussard was talking about it this morning. I don't know if you guys saw it, but he brought up the fact that that tainted, I said tainted, that tainted the image of Isaiah for the rest of his career. I mean, when you talk about Larry Legend and Magic and Michael and everybody moving forward from there, I mean, obviously Isaiah, he's not always in those talks. Do you think it's because of that one move?
I think it's because he's a jerk. Honestly, I mean, I'm not joking. And this started before the bad boy stuff, Keith, and you will remember it because the All-Star games, when Jordan started moving up, and Isaiah told the people, do not pass him the ball. And that's all there was to it. And as a competitor, Jordan took that and said, I don't like you. And when he became the most popular man in sports, he had some enemies.
I think there's no doubt. I think it has affected the legend of Isaiah Thomas when you think about it. Because I think if you bar that, you got to remember, Isaiah had a whole different vibe. I mean, I know he only went to IU for a year, but that's a dude who played for Bobby Knight. So, I mean, if you go play for Bobby Knight, you're thinking like, oh, okay, well, you know, poor kid from Chicago, played for Bobby Knight, you know, played his year, you know, was tough, was small. But Mason's right. He's never that's the persona of him or the idea of Isaiah. I mean, that's who Isaiah is, I think, in the eyes of people. So, I mean, you know, you make your bed, you kind of have to lie in it. It's just the way it goes.
You know, and the other thing was, you know, I heard him complaining today again that, you know, talking about nobody took more shots than him going down the lane. through all these years and wanted to talk about Karl Malone, splitting his eye open and stuff like that. Again, that was the way they played. So when they dished it back, when they could dish it out, they couldn't take it. And I think that is the whole persona of what I will remember about the Bad Boys.
But that's you. But you're coming from a tainted angle too. I mean, you got so much Jordan love in you. You know you ain't giving them cats a fair shot.
Oh no, no way.
But I think the Bad Boys, like Keith said, alluded to. Isaiah was the best player, and Mason, you said it too. If you really are the Bad Boys, can your best player, the leader of you, be adored? I think no, you don't want that. Isaiah wants it, but the rest of those guys, like Keith said, they don't want it. Bill Lambier don't want a Christmas card.
No.
He don't. Isaiah was one heck of a basketball player that I don't think anybody, if they're being honest, can argue that. He was a son of a gun. He was good, darn good. But, if you're going to be the leader of the Bad Boys, you're like being the leader of the Oakland Raiders. You're not going to be adored by people besides people who are in Detroit at the Palace. And that's what they wanted, I feel. Besides Isaiah, I think post Bad Boy era, he definitely has done a lot of whining, about I'm not adored and things like that. But when he was in it, they were embracing that, and they should have, because that's how they won.
Yeah, no doubt. Like I said, I thought I only remember the Rodman vacation thing because, like I said, I lived in Indiana during that time, and it was like on the news like every night. Like it was like leading story on the news. Dennis is in Vegas. Nobody knows where Dennis is at. APP out on Dennis, and it was a big deal. So that's the reason I remember it. I didn't know how they ever got him back though. Like that was crazy. Like I didn't know like Jordan actually went to a hotel and was like knocking on a door and was like, "Hey, look, you got to come to practice." That's crazy. That's insane.
Especially the fact that he had Carmen Electra in there naked.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
We're talking about practice.
Hey, you know what else was interesting when he did come back, and the way that Phil handled it, he had him doing the Indian run drill. Remember they were talking about that, and Jordan was funny talking about that. Like he's like, "Hey, dude, we're basically walking." Yeah. And he said he was sprinting the whole time, so he just showed right there that he was a freak athlete, Rodman.
He's crazy. He's unreal. He's unreal, man. But I just, in today's Twitter age, I can't imagine somebody going, you know what? I'm out. I'm going on vacation. I need a vacation. And them just going off to Vegas and the world not just, it would go, they go crazy.
Right. Look how bad Johnny Manziel thing turned out.
Right.
Let alone Dennis Rodman, going to Vegas. That's firing gasoline. I gotta watch it. For sure. You had me at Carmen Electra. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Oh gosh.
All right, start the good stuff, Keith.
All right, you ready? Hold on.
Keith's froze.
Man,
there he is.
That's what I was afraid of. Ooh. You guys still all there?
See. Two screens.
Yeah.
There's two of them.
Yeah.
I'm all jacked up. I gotta go. Now I'm starting to get some guys. There we go.
What?
Does Mason have to stop recording this one, Keith, and re-record the second one?
There we go. All right, you ready?
Yeah.
Whoa. Getting all kind of feedback.
You want me to stop this?
Yeah, go ahead.